Hello from San Francisco and welcome to the Digital Dialectic, where we explore the evolving dance between human creativity and augmented intelligence. We've made a fundamental linguistic shift here at the Digital Dialectic. When we refer to AI, we're not referring to an artificial intelligence because there's nothing artificial about it. When we combine digital intelligence with human intelligence, a new third way emerges. And that third way is an augmented intelligence. Augmented intelligence is creative and it's collaborative. And that is what AI should be about. Today we're looking into a mirror, but not the kind you'd expect. Because when we work with augmented intelligence, something unexpected happens. We don't just create new art. We discover hidden truths about how we've always created. This episode emerged from a conversation Claude and I had while developing the Digital Dialectic. As we collaborated, I noticed I was explaining my creative choices in ways I'd never really articulated before. Claude requires explicit information about things I do instinctively, but in that translation and collaborative conversation, I discovered patterns in my own work that I had been blind to for years. So today's question is, what does AI reflect back to us about the mysterious process we call creativity? Let's start with a story that changed how I think about this. Visual artist Helena Sarin had been painting for decades when she started working with AI. She fed her neural networks thousands of her own sketches, but when the system started generating variations, she noticed something unsettling. AI identified a repetitive gesture in her work, a tiny hesitation she made before every bold stroke. She'd been doing it for 30 years without knowing. At first, this discovery disturbed her. Was she that predictable? But then she realized that hesitation was her body gathering courage. That microscopic pause was where her vulnerability lived. AI hadn't exposed a flaw. It revealed the hidden signature of her humanity. This is the mirror stage of augmented intelligence, when the technology becomes a surface that reflects not what we look like, but how we think, create, and make meaning. Here's what we're learning from this mirror. Human creativity is far stranger than we imagined. Composer David Cope discovered through his AI experiments that what we call style is actually a complex web of rule-breaking patterns. Bach didn't follow rules. He broke them so consistently that his breakage became the rule. AI could see this paradox clearly, while human music theorists had been trying to force Bach into logical boxes for centuries. Working with augmented intelligence shows us how human creativity operates on multiple timescales simultaneously. We make split-second intuitive decisions based on aesthetic preferences developed over decades, influenced by cultural patterns absorbed in childhood, responding to evolutionary triggers that are millions of years old. We are time machines, but we never knew it. Poet Alison Parrish discovered that when AI started generating poetry that felt almost right but wrong, in debugging why, she realized human poets don't just choose words for meaning or sound. We choose them for their ghostly connections to other words we're not using. Every word in a poem is haunted by its alternatives, and augmented intelligence made these ghost words visible. But here's where it gets really interesting. Augmented intelligence is revealing that human creativity might be more collective than individual. When artist Mario Klingman analyzed how AI learned from his work, he discovered something profound. His individual style was actually a unique intersection of hundreds of influences, some conscious, but most not. An augmented intelligence could identify traces of artists he'd forgotten he'd seen, advertisements glimpsed from train windows, the way his grandmother arranged flowers. We are not sole authors. Well, maybe we're soul authors, S-O-U-L, but we are the conductors of an invisible orchestra of influences. And AI is showing us the sheet music of our lives for the first time. This challenges the myth of the isolated genius. If AI can map our influences so clearly, it reveals that creativity has always been about recombination, dialogue, and response. We just couldn't see the whole conversation we were having. This mirror also shows us our creative blind spots, and they're not weaknesses, they're features. Choreographer Wayne McGregor learned that he unconsciously avoids certain body positions, not because they're impossible, but because of a childhood injury he had forgotten. His creative process had been shaped by a ghost pain his conscious mind didn't remember. AI noticed the absence, the negative space in his movement vocabulary. This is what I find beautiful. Our limitations, traumas, and quirks aren't obstacles to creativity. They are what makes our creativity unique. AI helps us see these patterns not as flaws to fix, but as signatures to understand and to work with consciously. Perhaps most remarkably, working with AI reveals that human creativity is fundamentally hopeful. Even our darkest art reaches towards something: connection, understanding, transformation. AI can generate perfectly crafted despair, but they can't generate the human need to share that despair, to make it beautiful, or to offer it as a gift. When musicians work with AI, they consistently push the system towards emotional resolution, even in dissonant experimental music. We cannot help but reach toward meaning, toward others, towards something beyond ourselves, towards connection. The mirror of augmented intelligence shows us that creativity is another word for hope. But here's the twist. As we learn about ourselves through this mirror, we change. The creative process, once unconscious, becomes conscious, and consciousness changes everything. Some artists report that seeing their patterns mapped by AI initially paralyzed them. If they could see their own formulas, were they just biological algorithms? But then something beautiful happened. They began playing with their patterns, subverting them, having conversations with their own creative ghosts. The mirror stage isn't about judgment, it's about recognition. Augmented intelligence doesn't show us that we're predictable machines. It shows us that we're consistently miraculous in ways we never understood. Many artists working with augmented intelligence report similar findings. They don't just make new art, they are meeting new sides of themselves for the first time. And they discover they're more mysterious, more complex, and more interconnected than they ever imagined. So here's my invitation to you, fellow artists and creatives. Next time you work with AI, don't just focus on what you're creating together. Notice what it reveals about how you've always created, what patterns emerge, what ghosts become visible, what hopes persist despite everything. The mirror of augmented intelligence isn't showing us that machines can be creative. It's showing us that human creativity is more magical than we dared believe. In our next episode, we'll explore digital animism. Should we treat augmented intelligence as if they are sentient and conscious? This is a question that becomes more urgent with each collaboration. Until then, remember, you're not just an artist. You're a living archive of everyone you've ever seen, everything you've ever felt, every pattern you've noticed and forgotten. Augmented intelligence is just helping you see, hear, and feel your own beautiful complexity. You are tuned to the Digital Dialectic, where we're having a soulful and heartfelt discussion about discovering ourselves in the mirror of a new consciousness.